Welcome back to the development. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. Episode 1 was very much about the commencement of the development. It was very much about the groundworks. We were all about digging and de-risking the project. But anyway, we're now out of the ground, as you can see. And this week, yesterday, we commenced the start of the steel structure. For the next 9 weeks, the steels are going up, starting with showroom A and working the way round. And then the cladding will start at the very end of November, and that will, the duration will be about 4 months. So by the end of February, we should have a watertight building, fingers crossed. If I'm honest, when I stand in the spaces, it's another real wake-up call of how big the whole site is, how big the showrooms are, the scale of the showrooms. I find it a little bit daunting, and I've felt like that now for the last probably month or 2 months. And it's me being honest. I always promised that I'd give you my honest emotion throughout the project. And I stand in these spaces, or I stand on these slabs, and I think, Jesus, how big are these showrooms going to be? And how much more stock do we need to hold and buy? And we need to find some more great personnel. You know, I've got a great team of people at the moment. That team of people, it's not a huge team, but they're really good, and it's always hard to find really good people. So over the next 6 months, we are definitely going to explore, maybe give some other personnel who have applied for jobs with us recently, give them an opportunity and see how good they are in order to be prepared for the move and when we come here. As you can see behind us, the steels are going up. We have a humongous crane. I was going to say I'm glad I'm not paying for it, but I obviously am paying for it. The guys look like they're doing a good job. I suppose it's a big Meccano set that they're putting together. So that's exciting. We're at the end of showroom C here, and then we need to watch your feet. PPF bay was exciting because that was going in last week. Well, the slabs were, the concrete planks. And then we were like, oh, did we put the sink in? No, there's no sink. And then had to call back to the office, and they were like, yeah, we definitely need a sink in there. So then we had to put, lastminute.com, we had to put some more drainage in. And then the drainage had to run all the way through and then be connected out. And, you know, these things, these are easy oversights. If you're not here and you're not walking the spaces and living, you know, the contractor can only do so much for us, and the architect can only do so much. But I think it's so important to be on site and imagining and thinking, okay, so this is where Jonty's going to be detailing the cars. This is where Marcus is going to be. This is where Paul is going to be. Okay. And how's this going to work, and how's the PPF going to happen? And okay, so when Tom comes to take the photos, how's the photo studio going to be set up? Where's he going to put his lights? How's the suspended ceiling going to work? And it's basically processing all of those thoughts to then realize and go, oh my God, actually we forgot to put the sink in. And that's how it happened. I'm looking around, and I know this sounds, I'm not sure how exciting it is to talk about, but I look at the retaining walls, and the guys have looked like they've done a really good job. They've blasted up really quickly. You can see all the drainage through the retaining walls. I mean, they've cost an absolute arm and a leg, these walls, and we've still got to face them yet. We've still got to put either brick or stone on them, and then a coper. But it's looking good. We're in the storage building. This is going to be the car lift that will take you up to the penthouse, and it is actually called the penthouse. We're going to offer clients the opportunity to take that space as their own single space. So it could be their own single space in the Cotswolds. I'm really excited about the storage building, actually. Holly is going to be fully in charge of the storage building. I'm going to have nothing at all to do with it. But I think this is an area of the business that we will really scale. So it's another Wednesday, it's development day, but today I'm not on site. Today I'm at the main contractor's offices, Kingley's headquarters, where we are going to be meeting up with 3 lighting subcontractors. They are the 3 people that we've shortlisted. These guys are going to be coming in, talking about their quote, showing us their products in order for us to choose our preferred horse in the race.
I'm Nick Reynolds, Managing Director and Founder of Xavier Design. Today is a really deep diving in workshop, if you like, into the whole lighting supply chain. Different manufacturers and suppliers come in. We talk to them about their company longevity, finances, the way they're set up, the way they'll handle the project, the way they'll service it, the way they'll support the project, where their source of origin is, what would happen if there's failures or problems, so that as well as the product itself, we can look at the larger picture of how they'll be supporting the contractor.
Little things concern me where, you know, the spec on the exterior fittings, it's just somebody having the time to go through it and go, no. You know, number one, not only do we not want that size of fitting, but also we'll be overpaying because we'll be paying for a much larger fitting than what we need. And by the way, that's times 50 fittings.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a flexible LED strip that can be
So that's going in.
made into different shapes.
I'm Sophie Fuller. I'm the founder and director of Alice Blue Interiors, and we're currently doing the interior design on the Furs. This project is huge. Obviously, just the scale of the square footage is large. Usually I'm kind of, you know, specialised in residential. So again, you know, we wanted it to have a residential feel. We wanted it to feel really welcoming and, you know, inviting for clients to come and visit and spend time in. But again, we obviously had to think about kind of the commercial aspects of it, the practicality of it, how's it going to function, what have we got to, you know, get into it. It's got, you know, got to be work on all sorts of different levels, very different to a, you know, a residential property. So that's been quite a challenge.
So where are we going to put this?
So you've got these in loos, offices. I think we've got a few in the corridors, a few spaces like that. So
We chose one which is quite classic for residential to again give it that resi feel rather than the bigger version that you see above your head.
kind of commercially like to put much bigger kind of fittings in, which
office.
Okay, they look nice.
yeah. So the standout feature for the lighting in the showroom is essentially we've done this incredible grid formation with Xavier, and the idea of creating some real flexibility and a real statement. So it floats just about 3 meters off the floor and continues throughout the space as a kind of continual datum line around it. And actually that's really key to kind of giving flexibility for Tom and his business, but also to kind of create a really high level of light output and options for him to kind of create great spaces with. We want to create a mood, and we obviously want to create a really inviting space for people to, you know, arrive into. We want to show the cars off to the best, you know, that they can be. And we need to make sure the colour and the tone of the lighting is correct. We need to make sure that we have flexibility, so if you move the showroom around, we can adapt and change it as the business requires. But we also want it to have, you know, a warm feel, and we don't want it to feel too sterile and cold. So, you know, the colour of the temperature of the lights we're selecting is really important. And again, we really want to give it a kind of a homely feel, even though obviously it's a huge showroom.
I think if I was to sum up the project, it's a blend of different parts of the brain, if you like. We have a team motto in Xavier: design like an artist, study like an analyst, and think like an engineer. And that's what we've been doing today. That's what we've been doing in the last 2 or 3 years, is looking for those creative elements, which are great fun. We love doing, they're the exciting bits, but making sure that that's backed up with fine engineering and really true excellence. And definitely a tribute to the thousands of hours that have gone in, not just from our team, but the whole project team. It's been a really good process. We're becoming kind of the Tom Hartley Jr. family, I guess. And we're looking forward to seeing the end result and those amazing cars.
Well, it's 5:10. I've been here since just before 9 a.m. It's been a full day. We've met 3 of the shortlisted lighting subcontractors, met them, spoke with them about their quote, about their products, got a feeling for their business, how long they've been in business for, payment terms, everything you could possibly think of. Such a huge package and such an important package on the project, because it's telephone numbers actually with regards to the price, but we could build the most wonderful building in the world, and then if you have poor lighting, you know, lighting is essential for the cars. The cars in this space, they're huge galleries, and how well lit they are, and it's not too dark or it isn't too white of a light to make it seem, you know, we want a nice warm residential feeling inside those spaces. So it's an important package. How did it go today? I think it was a good day spent. We're still no further forward with regards knowing who our chosen horse is. I'd say we've probably got only 2 horses in the race now. And within the next week, I think we would have decided on which one we're going to go with. They've all got to go away. The track lighting that they have proposed isn't to what I want. I want a seamless track lighting, and none of the products that's been proposed offer that. So they're all going to go away and come up with the solution. Probably could do with them coming down a little bit on price as well, if I'm perfectly honest. I would like them to lose maybe 100 or 200,000 off their quote. But let's see what happens. This is what it's like though. It's just, I have had a full day today. And now when I go home tonight, I'm gonna have about 60 unread emails I've got to stay up until stupid o'clock replying to. But you know, for the next 18 months, this is how I've got to change my life to get through these projects. Today we've had our monthly meeting. We always have the monthly meeting on site. You know, we've caught up with the architect, Dark and Taylor, who are the M&E personnel, obviously the project manager, the interior designer, a cost controller. There's a full team of people that come to these meetings. We go over so many different topics. We're talking about retaining walls today. You know, what material I want on the retaining walls. Are they going to be brick? Are they going to be stone? You know, we've spoken about interior finishes. We've had an AV meeting for hours with Marquis. Marquis are our AV specialists. Paul Endersby and his team are doing a good job for us, we think. And yeah, just deciding about access control points, alarms, where the alarm keypads are going, Lutron lighting. Do we want Crestron to basically have automation throughout the whole building? It's unbelievable, everything that's got to be processed in my brain. I'm probably mumbling a little bit now because there's just been so much to digest throughout the day. Okay, so what a change. It's been a few weeks since I've been on site. The last 3 or 4 weeks has been absolutely crazy. We had our Ferrari tour in Rome that basically took me out of action for a week, and then I came back from that and I had a bit of a treat because I was invited up to the Alfred Dunhill Championship in Scotland, where I managed to play in a golf tournament that I've wanted to play in all my life. So as much as I've been spending 2 and 3 days a week down here at the project every single week, for the last 3 weeks I haven't been here once. And 3 weeks has gone by and wow. We now get a really good feel for our classic car showroom because the full structure is up. It is very, very, very big. I felt like it was more daunting when I was here a month ago, because once I saw just the slab down, I thought, oh my God, like I'm gonna need about 3,000 cars for this space. I've been pacing it out today and saying, okay, well, what about if we put a nice Ferrari 250 just here on an angle, and we put our DB4 GT here, and we put 2 or 3 Ferrari 275s here. And I've worked it out that I think we could either put 20 cars in here, well, no, 25 cars in here set out like it's a museum, or we could put 60 cars in here comfortably. So somewhere between those numbers, we're safe. So you need to keep offering us all of your classic cars because we're going to have to keep our inventory extremely high. So at the moment in time, I would say our library in our current building is about here. That's our current library. And now we've got it from the external wall to about here. And it goes right the way down to here. So I'm not sure what we're going to do in there, but if you've got any, well, we're going to have to invest in some more books, that's for certain. You know, all of our cars are sent to Mark specialists for their restorations. But what we do here, unlike anyone else really, is our research that goes into every single chassis is quite impressive, if I must say so myself. You know, we spend a hell of a lot of time. We make sure before we present any car for sale that it's extremely well researched. We don't want to be caught out on something. We don't want to find that we've sold a car and then 2 years later a guy says, hey, did you know that that car won Monza in 1956? And we're like, okay, no, we are a bit stupid. And then we get into the contemporary supercar showroom. So above us here, the difference between the classic car showroom is we had nothing at all in the roof space, where here we start to now have the offices, well, this is my office directly above. I'd say my office has got the best view in the property, and is probably the premium office, as you would expect, because I'm paying for it all. And then office number 2 has the second best view because it's looking down on the contemporary supercars. I think that's a really good office, actually. I've been weighing up the option of maybe even swapping offices. It's amazing in the space of a month how much this has come on. I feel like we're going to be moving in 3 months, but I don't think that is going to be the case. Now we are into the client lounge. So the client lounge you'll be able to access from the rear, Crital style doors, windows, glazed area. There'll be some parking out the rear. That will be access for cars to go in and out of the modern car showroom. And then in here, there's a whole host of different seating areas. We've got TV on the wall here, TV on the wall here. This is going to be the bar area somewhere back here. TV on the rear wall where we're going to be showing all the Formula One, the golf, the football. We're not interested in Sky News, Bloomberg. It's only going to depress people. This is going to be a sporting area. Reception area. This is where our hostess, the showroom hostess, will probably be located. In the center here, there's going to be a pedestal with the Formula One car. So the first impact vision that any client gets when they walk into the showroom, they're going to walk through that main front facade, glazed at the top, glazed doors, and straight through those doors before you get to the hostess, before you get to that main desk, there's going to be a pedestal with a Formula One car. These guys, as you can see, we're not going to walk under there in case that steel falls, but that's going to be our modern car showroom. At the moment in time, do we sell modern cars? Yes, we do sell modern cars. Do we sell Rolls-Royce Phantoms? Yes. Mercedes G-Wagons, Ferrari Purosanguas? Yes. Is it really what the business is about? No. We basically sell those cars because all of our clients have modern cars to use more on a daily basis, where their collectible cars are cars that they either invest in or the cars that give them the most passion. However, because of what we're creating here, we are definitely going to ramp up our modern car sales. That's where we're going to be employing more people, a couple of more sales individuals, maybe a couple of buyers to help us keeping our stock levels high. So they need to hurry up and build the bloody structure. Catching up on emails and trying to close some deals whilst looking at our new showroom. So we've got a little bit of a treat today, and we're also having a bit of fun. I think everyone's probably fed up of waiting for us, the rest of the team, but
Yeah.
Sophie and I, we are on the scissor lift and we're being taken up to the spaces on the first floor to get a feel for the spaces.
Yeah.
And we're sort of taking liberties, I would say, where we were supposed to go up in one room and now we're just traveling around and we're asking to go up in every room.
Yeah.
Dan, our videographer, is enjoying every single second of it, because every time we keep saying, "Shall we go to another space?" Like, yep, that would make
Yep.
that'd be good.
Yeah. So this will be Tom's office in here.
This is my office in
This
here.
is your office,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then we've got our
Where
large,
do you reckon it starts from?
um,
It's about here.
yeah, probably about that line of that there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then that'll go through. So this is your office. And then, yeah, we've then got our mezzanine level. We've got another office here.
What
So
do we have
we've
this
got
side?
some archives. So you've got your bathroom in here. See, I know.
I've got a shower here, haven't I?
Yeah, shower here, and then we've got our meeting room that's through into that section there. So, and then that looks out over to the classic car showroom over there.
And then the other side here we've got, so this is going to be the archive room.
Yes. And then your main offices are over in this section over here.
It is big, it's humongous, but do you know, it was more daunting actually a month ago when I first saw the slab down.
Yeah.
So when I first saw the slab down, I was like, how many cars are we going to need to fill that space?
A lot, yeah.
But I have been adding up how many cars we've actually got at the moment, and I
No.
think we're going to be okay.
Well, it's not, space is a luxury as well. It's nice to have.
Yeah, it is, and this is really my home. So
Yeah.
this office for me, I know we're building the house half a mile away, but the house is more for Charlene and the kids. I will spend more hours of my life in this showroom.
Yeah.
So this showroom, I am trying to fit it out like it's
Yeah.
my home.
It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. It's just seeing the roofs go in and the roof lines and visions and line throughs is really exciting.
And what colour did you envisage this office to be then?
So I think a lot of it's going to be quite off-white, quite soft, but we've got a lot of joinery going in, which will be like some nice dark timbers. We've got a timber floor, so I think it'll still feel quite luxe and very kind of relaxing, and obviously it's a workspace, so well lit, but again, kind of got a homely feel to it, even though it's a main office. So yeah. So this is our main staff office.
Yeah.
So Tom's core team will be in here. Got an amazing view out over the back courtyard. We've got.
So we intend for there to be 8 individuals in actually, this is a very big office, so it's
Yeah.
going to be double desks.
Yes.
4 double desks.
Yes.
8 individuals. I like a lot of the team to work together because I find that's where you collaborate best.
Yeah.
I like the team to work together, and this main team office is going to be directly next door to my office, so I can walk in, shout, walk back out. So this is Paul Endersby from Marquee Home. Paul is responsible for all of our audio, visual, smart control of the building. It's a difficult decision to know who to go with actually, because all of this audio, visual, it feels like a minefield to me, and you know, the different companies, suppliers, manufacturers you can go with regards speakers, the control of the building. Like today, for example, we've had Crestron out visiting us because Paul feels that Crestron are very well suited.
Well, they're at the pinnacle of the market, and obviously a building of this quality needs.
We haven't gone with them yet, so don't.
No,
say
we
they're the
haven't. We
pinnacle of
haven't
the
gone
market.
with them yet.
Yeah.
So we're obviously reviewing. I mean, Tom came all the way to ISE in Barcelona with us just to get an idea of where the market was at, because part of our role is to be able to show Tom what's around, and so he can make informed decisions. And I think that was a beneficial trip.
And I think also to explain, to simplify it, what I would like is we've got 3 different showroom spaces, we've got all these different rooms, and meeting rooms, client lounges, libraries, storage buildings, everything that goes with it. And I'd like to be able to control all of that by an iPad, by my phone, by an iPhone. I'd like to be able to turn all the lights on, turn all the lights off, look at all the CCTV, use the access control.
Yeah, it's a whole
alarm,
an overall control solution which makes daily things a lot easier. And I think from your current operation to here, it's a big step up. And this property, as you can see, how many thousand square feet, to try and control all of there's 1,600 Dali circuits in the property. The lighting scheme is very extensive. So,
and also the blinds. So the blinds, I want to be able to press a button and have electric blinds. So if we want to shut the showroom space down for a private event, and we don't want people seeing any maybe very high profile clients, individuals that are visiting, we can literally just press a button, close all the blinds down in any one of the showrooms.
Yeah, and also managing the solar gain as well. It's again large building. You're getting a lot of heat coming in through the glazing as well. So
and we can control the air conditioning.
Correct. Yeah, it's basically the whole environmental control. So you have the luxury elements, which is the audio-visual control, and then you can pull the whole of that lot together with the environmental control and also the security aspect as well. Looking at the access and the security cameras, it's basically all on one platform, which makes Tom's life a lot more easy.
So just for the record, we're putting a lot of faith and a lot of trust in this man, in the way that he designs it and the way that everything works. So if it goes really well, he's going to be a hero, and if he doesn't go really well, then rest in peace.
I'm still going to be a hero.
Rest in peace.
So I'm not sure why we're smiling actually, because it hasn't been a very good day. Today has been our monthly progress meeting, and I can't really say it was very good, because I'm just looking back on our notes and my thoughts of it's cost a hell of a lot of money today. Basically, to recap on a few things, it's going to cost us £56,000 apparently to powder coat the ducting inside the showroom buildings. We've got to do more tests to the northern field because we're not sure that the soakaway is working as it should. We did have a tiny bit of not a confrontation, I wouldn't say, with the contractor, but the contractor issued an early warning notice. So an early warning notice is...
It's the contractor telling you that there could be a problem coming up, either because of cost or program changes to what's in the contract. So it's their way of giving you a heads up before it actually becoming a problem.
So basically, an early warning notice was issued for the composite floor. There was an upstand detail shown on the architect's drawing for the balustrade, but the engineer didn't include it in their drawing. Mr. Pritchard was quick to diffuse the moment, you could say, and point out to the contractor that under a design and build contract, that was kind of tough shit, I thought the word that you used, or the phrase was.
Slightly different, but yes, the point was made.
They'd lost 5 days due to, what was the word?
Exceptionally inclement weather.
So we're going to define what exceptionally inclement weather was, and if that was working days or if it was weekend days. I found out today that the only way we can define exceptionally inclement weather was we will go to the Met Office.
We'll go to the Met Office, we'll be checking records for average, typical days weather.
The glazing, the G value on the glazing needs to be changed, so we've got to go to a slightly different spec G value. That's also going to cost us a bit more money. Where else was the good news today? There was some other good news, wasn't there?
Well, the guttering is square.
The guttering is square. Yeah, that was the good news. We've managed to get the car parts building, just that we're going to stick some spare tyres and wheels.
Yes.
We've managed to get that down to 150,000. Yes.
We did have some exciting news though, in that we also met up with a speaker company today, didn't we, this morning, who've come up with some options for some sound systems within the showroom.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find the good news from that. The good news is that there is a company out there that can perform some concert-like speakers.
Yes.
Whether we're going to go with them or not and pay the price, I'm not sure, but we will have speakers in there. We met up with our AV company today who brought on board Crestron.
Yes.
Crestron we are using at the house. We're thinking of making the whole building a smart building for the showroom. Ian is strongly against that. He likes the idea of a normal switch up and down.
There is nothing wrong with a switch.
Yes, so we've got a few delays and the cost plan has increased.
It has.
Yeah.
It's not been a good day.
No, it's not been a good day at all actually, and I'm smiling. No, I'm trying to take it in good humour at the moment, but I'm not sure if we'll take it in good humour next week, but let's see how we get on. We've got a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do.
I'm Mark Swadling. I'm a director at Dark & Taylor with the mechanical and electrical contractors and designers on the fantastic project at the Firs for Tom Hartley. The Dark & Taylor are the designers and installers of the mechanical and electrical M&E systems within this building. We've had to coordinate these systems through the structure, which is currently being installed. There's currently two 60-ton cranes on site at the moment. Mechanical, what is mechanical? Mechanical is your hot water, your cold water, your air conditioning, your ventilation systems. We've got some huge spaces here in this building. It's going to take a lot of plant and a lot of power and a lot of energy to heat and cool these buildings. Electrical, we've got lighting control, dimming systems. We then go on to fire alarm, security, CCTV, access control, power. Distribution equipment, it's a big building. There's a lot of power needed for this building. There's a lot of distribution equipment being fitted in. There's a new substation been installed on the site to feed this building. All of that stuff doesn't just happen. It has to be coordinated, it has to work, it has to be maintainable, and it has to be reliable and robust so that the client has a fantastic overall whole life cycle of this building. So the selection of that equipment is so important for the environment and running costs. That is so important for the client. We're looking at the whole life costs. Like with any building and construction project, a lot of work is done in the ground with the groundworks, with the drainage, with the footings. So there's lots of work done before you see a visual impact. What we have now is the visual impact. The building is formed, the steelwork is being installed, the building is on programme. We, mechanical and electrical installers, are due to start in January next year. Our site teams are going to start to get to site in the next couple of weeks to start to plan and to order materials and coordinate programmes and building structures in terms of the installation stage. So January 25, the mechanical and electrical installation is going to be going full steam ahead because we have a tight programme to deliver this building by the end of next year. So we currently stood in showroom A, looking out into the conference room, the courtyard, the library. Currently, block walls are being installed, scaffolding is being installed for the roofing to be fitted, or to get the building in the dry to allow the mechanical and electrical to start in January 25. So this big space here, how are we going to cool it? How are we going to heat it? How are we going to light it? We have a central duct system on show that is architecturally looking, that's going to fit in with the building structure. It's not hidden, it's on show, it's going to be made a feature of it. Lighting, we have a suspended Darley dimmable lighting system on a track. So there's going to be a lovely suspended track system with spotlights and linear lights connected to it, integrating the emergency lighting for compliance purposes. That's fully dimmable. Power, 13 amp sockets are going to be carried out with floor boxes, coordinated with the positions of the cars. Feed from high level, drop down the walls, onto the floors with metal conduits to feed these floor boxes. That enables Tom to plug in trickle chargers for his cars, data points for Wi-Fi, to give a client and his staff full Wi-Fi coverage across the whole building. It's been many, many months and many meetings with Tom, and he's instilled in us his quality and his enthusiasm and his hard work. I don't know of anyone that's so passionate about everything he does and the amount of work he puts into it. It's a pleasure to work with him, and I'm looking forward to delivering with our team a fantastic job at the First.
So it's our final update before our Christmas break. We are in the depths of December and the weather is awful, to be perfectly honest. It's freezing cold and it's blowing a gale. However, as you can see, it's not stopping progress, and progress is something that we've definitely made in 2024. So we started, what was it, sometime late April, and we're about to break up for the New Year's break. It's so good to be able to walk around here now and actually get a feel for the spaces. So we're now stood in the contemporary car showroom. So this is where the cars are going to come in and out through these glazed doors, soon to be glazed doors. The way things are going, the glazing will be up bloody before the roofs, the glazing will be fitted before the roof's on. Then this is going to be where the supercars sit. This is where you're going to just spice it up a little bit. We're going to have our P1s, our F1s, our Zondas, our Ferrari supercars, 40s, 50s, Enzos, LaFerraris, Chirons, Veyrons. This is the space where this is going to happen. Here you can see that we've got all of the metal decking on, and the concrete is actually poured upstairs on the first floor. I'm looking forward to going up there today actually and seeing it. Coming around, you'll now start to see the areas that the roof is on. This was actually a very awkward detail that the Kingerly were telling me. So the way the roof has been put on, they started on the the west side above the classic car showroom, and then this central area where we've got this is going to be an outside terrace, but where the roofs meet in all four corners, that was the second port of action of getting the roof on. Actually, they said they've got to get that detail right before they move on to the next phase. So that looks like it's been completed. Another little milestone, that's our first bit of rubble walling going up. The air brick, don't take no notice of, that's just a temporary air brick. Much nicer air brick is going in place of that. So we've got our rubble stone going all the way around the plinth. We're not going to be selling those. The vans are only here purely for the contractors, nothing to do with me. This is not the first bit of stock that we've got going in the showroom. Okay, down into the storage building. A few different areas we can access this from. This probably not being one of them. So we're in our storage building. Height is nice. Now all of these are going to be double stacked downstairs. So there's going to be 4 ramps inside these columns. I know this is a real unusual thing to probably share and probably doesn't excite many of you, but when I look at this, it makes me so happy, because the one thing I really spelled out to the contractor early on is how meticulous everything has to be. You know, I'm a guy with OCD, I'm a guy that's got a decent eye for detail, and just generally the formwork on how they put these steps down into the storage building. You know, everything is done so meticulously well. It's all tidy block work, it's good formwork. You know, that's the little things that make the difference. If you're going to live on a site like this forever, which I'm going to, this is going to be my home, I don't just want it looking fancy on the outside and behind the scenes, things not being meticulous, not being substantial. And that's what really excites me. I really like that, actually. This is quite a big moment. This is my first time stood on my freshly poured first floor, and behind me is my office. So this is the first time walking into my office space, which is where I'm planning on spending the rest of my life. So it's nice to come here today and see it for the first time. You can see the big glazed opening, what's going to be a glazed opening. So that's the view I'm going to have. Let's have a look at the view. So I'm intending on putting my desk here, got a TV here, I've got a meeting table here with another TV on the wall, got a shower and a bathroom somewhere in there. And then I'm gonna get to look out on the heart of the site. I'm going to be able to see down where all the detailing's going along, the photography. And then it's good to be able to see, if you look at the storage building now, they've got the first floor, the metal decking on. Obviously they've got to pour the concrete on top of that. But you get a feel for how big that is, and it's, Jesus, it is really big. And then we come out of my office, across the way. This is an office that I haven't actually designated to anybody yet, because it's an office that my vision is that I hope the kids, it's a very big office, and I hope the kids go there one day, but I'm not sure how long I can keep the office empty for, because maybe that's going to be too long. But as Olivia is now into the business, she might actually take that office over. Sarah gets an amazing view out. Sarah's head of our financial controller, and she'll be able to look out here, and she gets to look at the contemporary stock. I hope she likes modern stock better than she does modern supercars, because she isn't going to be able to see many modern supercars from here. She's going to be able to get to look out on all the Porsche GT3s and the 488 Pistas. I get to look out on, oh actually I don't get to look, I've just realised I don't get to look at any of the showroom space. I just get to look out on the site. Should have probably thought about that. It's really coming on. You know, it's been a stressful time. It's been way more stressful on the house, if I'm honest, that we're building a half a mile down the road, but it's still been stressful here just because we are over budget, actually. We're about the best part of £2 million over where we want to finish. And that's just because the cost of some of the packages have came in more expensive. Our dry lining package that we signed off this week, I can't believe plastering can be nearly the best part of £1 million for this showroom. I actually feel sick. But you know, it's just the cost of things have gone up, and you know, it's depressing. But we're getting there, and the team themselves are moving along well. You know, it seems to be a very well organised site, which doesn't go unnoticed, and it is appreciated really, and it's something that I value. That people are working every day, rain, blow or snow, they're working. We've got a deadline to hit. We want to be here next autumn. We want to physically be in the site, operating the site from next autumn. And yeah, it's all exciting. We've got a big 2025 ahead. Let's see how the next 3 or 4 months go with progress, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to report back. Well, I hope you've enjoyed episode 2. I want to wish you and your families a very Merry Christmas and a healthy and prosperous new year. We appreciate you coming along for the journey with us. It is stressful, it's exciting at the same time, and to share it all with you is actually very rewarding. So thank you, have a great Christmas, and lots of love to all of you.